Hey homies, welcome back. Here's part 2 to the I Ruined a Christian Camp Chronicles. I don't know if that's actually what I'm going to title it. I haven't decided yet. So don't judge me if that's false. Don't judge me if I'm lying to you about the title. But that's what I'm thinking about right now. Anyways, I'm so sorry that I had to make part 2. It was a very long video, but it was also a fucking banger. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. I'll put the title card up here, I think. I think that's where the title card goes. I don't know. I don't do them too often. So I'll put the title card up here. Watch that video if you haven't. It's a fucking banger. But also, if you haven't, no big deal. I'll catch you up with all the things you need to know. I got you, homie. So you don't even need to watch it, but I recommend you watch it because it's a fucking bang. Anyways, as we left in the last video, I created a cult, kinda. Like, I had this whole inside joke, reps for Jesus. Everything's going good. We're vibing with the homies. The other homie got expelled for pooping in the toilet. You know, as one does. And we have this rivalry with Sagittary Creek. And we're planning all these pranks and stuff. And eventually, we're just vibing in the cabin. We're just vibing in the cabin, talking to each other, just having a good old time, just vibing with each other, you know? And we're just all talking, having a good time, just planning our next attack on Sagittary Creek, planning our revenge. Because if you haven't seen it, we had this competition, and we were supposed to win. We obviously won the competition, but somehow Sagittary Creek, which is the nickname we gave them because of like their rapey context for their skit, somehow won, and we weren't happy with that. So we pranked them a bunch. We upper deckered the toilet. We made the, if you don't know, we pooped in the toilet and made it so every time you flush, there's poopy water instead of normal water. And then we took a sky dump where homie was in the sky and he shat from 20 feet above. It was insane, and we were planning all of our pranks against Sagittary Creek, and a spider comes out of nowhere. A spider comes out, and we all freak out. And Joe Blue, the homie himself, is just like, "Don't worry, homies, I got this. So then, like, whoa, like scared because this is a fucking big spider. And if you don't know, if you haven't watched the last episode, or if you don't remember, because I never really talked about Joe Blue. But Joe Blue is this guy with long, very long blue hair. He's got screwdrivers for earrings. It's a whole ass vibe. I fuck with him heavily, but everyone thinks he's a weirdo because he is. But I love weirdos. But I fuck with him heavily, and I didn't really talk about him last episode, so sorry if you forgot about him. But this episode, we're gonna get into Joe Blue. He was a fucking legend. So Joe Blue is just like, "Don't worry, guys, I got this." And this is a big spider. Homie just picks up the spider and then eats it. And we're just looking at Joe Blue going like, what the fuck? What the fuck, homie? But then we get curious and we're like, what does a spider taste like? And he's like, "Dude, this shit, it tastes like white." And we're like, "What?" And he's like, "I swear to God, it tastes like white. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know, like, how else to explain it. There's no way I could explain this taste except for it tastes like white." And we're like white Gatorade? He's like, "No, nothing like white Gatorade. Nothing. It tastes like white." And we're like, "Can you, like, give us any descriptors? Was it sweet? Was it bitter? Was it sour?" And he's like, "No. It tastes like the essence of white." And, like, throughout the whole camp, we're telling this story to the homies, like, all the homies from the other cabins. We're like, "Dude, Joe Blue ate a fucking spider, and he said it tastes like white. That makes no sense. That makes no sense." And we're ranting about it because we want to know what a spider tastes like, but we're all too much of pussies to actually eat a fucking live spider, because why the fuck would you do that? But Joe Blue would just chime in and be like, "Yep, tastes like white, bro." And then the homies we're talking to are like, "What the fuck does that mean? What do you mean it tastes like white?" And he's like, "I don't know how to explain it. It just tastes like white." And everyone's just like, "Joe Blue, what the fuck?" Anyways, Joe Blue is awesome though. First day, we walk in. First day, he makes nooses out of shoelaces, and that was really fucked up. And then we all start making suicide jokes, and homie starts like making us all do push-ups, the camp counselor. And then we're just like making fun of him, like, "You can't handle a little joke. What the fuck?" And then he's just like, "Yeah, I don't like that." And then we're like making fun of him, like, "Why don't you like that?" And we started calling him a head pusher. during this Christian camp, he started becoming known as a head pusher because he didn't like, I don't know why, but like we were like, you don't like our suicide jokes, you're a head pusher, because like I don't know why, we're fucking 14, 15-year-olds, who knows, man. But so he became known as a head pusher. We started making fun of him, saying he's a head pusher to his girlfriend. And if you don't know what that means, like when he's getting the head, he just I'm sorry you had to experience that, but anyways, so then we're making fun of him, and then we continue to make suicide jokes, and he continues to be like, hey, do push-ups. And then the other counselor, because we had 2 counselors, and the other counselor in our cabin was like, hey, that's fucked up, you can't do that. And we did not give a shit. We were ruthless 14, 15-year-olds. But then eventually we learned that his girlfriend, her best friend, you know, and then as soon as he said that, all of us just collectively were like, yeah, we're in the wrong, that was fucked, I'm so sorry. And we never talked about it again. But from now on, that guy was known as a head pusher, and it spread throughout all the cabins, so all the cabins started referring to him as a head pusher. And I'm so fucking sorry, because the reason he's referred to as a head pusher is because his trauma made him not want to not want to listen to suicide jokes, because they reminded him of his dead fucking friend. And us, not knowing that he had that trauma, started making fun of him and referring to him as a head pusher and dehumanizing this motherfucker. Meanwhile, this guy's reliving his PTSD, just having fucking flashbacks to his dead friend, and we're all just making fun of him. And now the whole camp knows him as a head pusher. And that's so fucked up. I'm so sorry, homie. I'm so sorry. But yeah, anyways, so each night we have a special event. Like one night there was like an escape room. One night there was like a whole party. One night there was like a giant like games where like we all competed for shit. So during these events, normally the boys and the girls never see each other because it's a Christian camp and they want to like keep that shit out. We were not allowed to talk to the girls and stuff. But during the events, we were talking to the girls, and it was beautiful. And then there was this one girl, all of us simped for, except for my cousin, because he had a girlfriend at the time. And he still does. Good for him. He still kept that girlfriend, I'm pretty sure, if that's the same girl. If not, I'm sorry. But he still has that girlfriend to this day, and congrats, homie. But all of us were simping for this girl. She was beautiful. She was fucking beautiful. And during the event time, we would play like volleyball or something, or like play like random things. And we had like recess and events, and during recess and events we were allowed to talk to the girls. So all of us would rush to the girls group and try to hit on the tall girl. We called her tall girl because she was like 5'10", and she had beautiful blonde hair, and she was absolutely beautiful, and we all fucking simped for her. So we would all rush towards the group, and we became friends with the group immediately. And we were just simping for her. And you know who she was simping for? And I was too dumb to realize. So it was very awkward, but it was awesome. But like, looking back, she had a huge crush on me, and it was very obvious. Like, I was too dumb because I was like 14, I think. No. I don't know when I was, because this was around my birthday time, because my birthday's in the summer, and I know this event took place like right next to my birthday. Like it was either right before or right after my birthday. So I was either like 14 about to turn 15, or 15 and just turned 15. So I was around that age, right? I don't know why that's important. I don't know why I said that. But anyways, yeah, because I was fucking dumb. I was dumb, and I could not recognize when people liked me. So like, every time there was an event, she would always stand close to me. And every time she would stand close to me and we would talk, I would notice her friends like laughing and like looking at us. And I was like, why the fuck are they looking at us? And I'm very dumb. I don't have good social cues. So I would see that and I'll be like, oh, they're making fun of me. Do I have like something on my face? Did I eat too much ice cream last night? That's fucked up. They're making fun of me because of my ice cream. And then like she's like laughing too. And I like jokes that I don't think are funny. And I was like, oh, she notices the ice cream too. I'm so fucked. And then like every mealtime, we had meal times, you know? And every mealtime we had this like event where like we were like something special happens, you know? And like we would finish the meal, and then the counselors would stand on the table and be like, "It's time, boys!" I forgot, they said something special. They said a special line, and we were like, "Oh shit, it's time." So we would all stand up when the meal's done, and we would be like, "It's ready." And then we would play a game, and whoever loses the game has to clean the tables, you know? So homie was like, "It's time, boys," and we're like, "Oh fuck." Something like, sometimes the game would be like, "Try to get a scrunchie," and we would like run, like scour the whole table, the whole like lunch area, just prey on girls looking for scrunchies, and then steal a scrunchie from them, just run back as fast as we can, and try not to be the one that cleans tables. And the girls had this too. And one time, there was this thing where they were like, "Find your camp crush or your CC." So like the girl, the pretty blonde girl, literally was on the opposite side. I was like near the left corner, the bottom left corner, and she was near the bottom right. She ran all the way over to my table to get me, and she lost that. But she lost it because she had a crush on me, and that was special. And I was like, "Why did you get me?" And then she was like, "No reason," you know. And then the girls was like, "Because we were supposed to get our CC," and because I was new to fucking like Christian camps and stuff, and because I've never been to Texas for this specific Christian camp, I didn't know the lingo. They had lingo there. They had like fucking special lingo that like all the Christian camp connoisseurs knew, and I didn't know it. So they were like, our game was supposed to get our CC, and she got really embarrassed, and then she's like, shut up, you're not supposed to tell." And then I was just like, "Oh cool, I'm the CC," and I didn't know what the fuck that meant. That meant the camp crush, and I didn't learn that till like much later. But then like stuff like that kept happening. Like every time she was near me, the homies were laughing. And then like there was this like one time, like we two of the boys in the girls camps combined for dinner, and we had a big dinner, and we were eating with the girls camp because we had like this special plan to do a one of the events with the girls camp. So we had the combined tables, and we were eating dinner together, and she sat right next to me, you know? And I was just ignoring her because I felt very awkward because I had a huge crush on her. So obviously I have to ignore her, you know? And like, I felt even more awkward because as I was eating, she would like just be staring at me, and then all the friends would be talking about me, and I would know they were talking about me, and then they would like laugh when like she talks to me, and I was like, "Why are they making fun of me? That's so mean. You guys are so mean." Because I thought they were like, because I'm a messy eater, and I tried like hard to not be a messy eater in front of her because I have a crush on her. Obviously I'm gonna try to look good, but like I thought like I was being a messy eater because normally I'm a fucking messy eater. And then she was laughing, and all of her friends were laughing at me, and I was like, "God damn it, they're laughing at me because I'm a fucking messy eater. Oh, this is horrible." I felt so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. So then eventually, one of the final days comes around, and it's fucking party time, boys. It's cowboy night. It's fucking cowboy night, boys. So we had this whole like prom like dress, except the theme was cowboy theme, you know, and everyone was supposed to dress as cowboys and cowgirls, and we were yeeing and we were hawing. Yee yee! So, we're all dressing as cowboys and stuff. And I have the most California version of a cowboy ever. I have a blue jeans, like a Texas Star belt, and a fucking flannel, and like a cowboy hat. And I was like, "I look damn good. I'm a fucking damn good run hard tootin' cowboy, brother." And then like everyone like at the camp just looked at me and laughed, and they're like, "We could tell you're from California. We could tell. That's the most California looking cowboy fit ever." And I was like, "Hey man, I'm trying my best out here. I'm trying to be a good hearted Texan." And they just laughed at me, and I was so embarrassed. Anyways, so the dance starts, and one of the rules of the dance is if you are a girl, you have to say yes no matter what, which is kind of weird, but you know, that's how it'll be sometimes. So like if a guy asks you, you have to say yes, you know. And I was like, who the fuck do I ask out? Because I have like multiple girls I found attractive, you know, but like I was only focusing on the tall girl because she was beautiful. And let me tell you, when tall girl came out, she looked so gorgeous. Like normally she's beautiful, but like when she came out looking with her special fit for the dance, she was actually fucking gorgeous. I barely knew this girl, but I thought I was in love. Obviously I wasn't, because I've known her for like fucking 4 days at this point, but I was in love. I like saw her and I was like, so I was working up my confidence to ask her out, but I was not gonna ask her out because little me had no confidence. I was awkward and shit with girls. I had no idea how to talk to girls. It was fucked up. I have so many videos I can make of just me failing talking to girls, and they're all funny as fuck. But anyways, so I had no confidence. I literally like had no confidence going into this, and I was like scared as shit. And all of my homies were like, yo, we're gonna ask her out, and they're all simping over her. They're all going like, they're so beautiful. And literally everyone in the camp except for my cousin, because he had a girlfriend, was like talking about asking her out. And like the more they talk, the more I'm like, it would be really funny if I just go up while they're talking about asking her out and just ask her out, you know. But then they kept talking and they were like, no, I want to do it. So they literally started getting in a fight over doing it. They started pushing each other, and then they started playing rock, paper, scissors. And like the guy won. They were like, no, best 2 out of 3. And they started fighting, and then they did rock, paper, scissors again. And then they like went over to the benches and did an arm wrestling thing. And I turned to my cousin and I was like, it would be really, really funny if I stole her from them. And I would have never asked her out. I'm way too much of a pussy. I have no balls. Even with the rule that says they have to say yes no matter what, I was convinced she would say no, you know? Even though she obviously had a crush on me, but like I was 14, maybe 15 at the time, and I did not know how crushes worked. I did not know how girls worked. I did not know how to figure out if people had a crush on me. So I did not know that, you know? So, they're all fighting over her, and the more they fight, the more I would be like, it would be really, really funny, because I'm a pussy. I do not know how to ask out girls, but I live for chaos, and this is chaos right here. So they're literally fighting, they're arm wrestling, and while they're arm wrestling, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. So then I go up to her and I was like, hey, you're really beautiful, I just want to let you know that, would you want to dance? And she was like, I would love to. And then all my friends turned, like they're still wrestling. And then like they're wrestling, and then he's like, it's my turn next. And like, because there's 3 of them, you know, the 2 of them are wrestling. It's like, my turn next. Arm wrestling, I mean. And then like the 3rd one goes, what the fuck, bro? And then like they're like, what happened? And then they're like, look at Atlas right there. And I go, hey boys, how you doing? While I'm dancing with her. And then they all get so pissed off at me. They're like, fuck you. They literally flip me the middle finger while I was dancing with her. And then she looks at that and she's like, oh, was it like your punishment, like to fucking ask me out or something? Was that like your dare or something? I was like, no. And then I explained the situation to her, and she was like, oh, that's really funny. And I kid you not, this dance was like an actual fucking movie. It was beautiful. Like, it was the most romantic thing I've done in my life. And that's not saying much, because I'm a fucking druggy loser like that doesn't get that much pussy. But like, this was the most romantic thing I've had in my life. We were like, the sparks were fucking flying. And I immediately ruined it. She was like, so what's up with your voice? Because if you don't know, I lost my voice at this point. It was fucked up. My voice was gone. And then I go, don't worry, I'm not going through puberty. I just lost my voice. I went through puberty, I promise. And she goes, okay. With like, bless her heart. I think that's one of the things where you have to have a huge crush on a person. And to be able to hear that sentence and go like, yeah, this person's, and not go like, this person's gonna murder me. Like, bless her heart. She heard that sentence and was somehow still into me. What the fuck is wrong with people? What is wrong with her brain I don't know. Anyways, I digress. So we're talking, we're flirting. It's going perfectly. It's literally like a movie. Like, I grab her waist, like everything feels like, right, she has the, I don't know how to explain it, but like when I grabbed her waist to dance with her, it was just warm, it just felt good. And like we were dancing and she had like the most beautiful figure ever. I was looking into her eyes and she was actually looking back into my eyes, and it looked like she was enjoying it, and it was amazing. And I kid you not, all the girls homies saw we were dancing together, and they started yelling, going like, yo, let's go. And it was insane. And they formed a circle around like us dancing. So we were 2 dancing here, and then all her homies formed a circle and was cheering us on, and it was insane. It was like the most beautiful thing ever. And then And then like we were dancing, and you're only allowed one dance, like so one song per person, you know, like, and then you have to switch partners. And we danced for 3 songs, boys. We danced for fucking 3 whole songs, boys. We were in love. Like, that night after the dance, I kid you not, I was in my bunk bed just dreaming about kissing her. I was in love. It was beautiful, boys. But anyways, eventually one of the counselors comes in, and then he's like, yo, you guys, I've seen you dancing for way longer than you're allowed to. You need to find another partner. And she's like, all right, bye. It was nice dancing with you, Atlas. And I was like, it was nice dancing with you too. And then like I went back to just standing awkwardly because, like, you know, teenage boys don't know how to fucking ask out girls. We were all 14, so I just went back to the group and they were like all jealous and stuff. And then we just kind of stood there awkwardly. And in the distance, I'm vibing. I'm having a great time. I was like, I danced with the prettiest girl I've ever seen in my life. It was amazing. And in the distance, I look. I'm like making sure everyone's vibing. Everyone in the group is vibing. But in the distance, I see Joe Blue, blue-haired screwdriver man. And he looks sad as frick. And I was like, we're supposed to be vibing, Joe Blue. We're supposed to be vibing. I see you over there, and I see a distinct lack of vibes coming from that bench. So then I go sit down, and I'm like, Joe Blue, what's wrong? We're supposed to be having the greatest dance of our lives. We're supposed to be having a good time. What's wrong? And he's like, I got rejected, bro. And he's like crying, and he's like, people always reject me, you know? Like, this is supposed to be the thing where, like, no matter what, you're supposed to say yes, no matter what. And like, if someone comes up and asks you, they're supposed to say yes, but I'm just a weirdo. And she said no. And I was like, Joe Blue, you're not a fucking weirdo. You're not a weirdo. And he's like, I am. And I was like, well, fuck that girl. She's a hoe. And then he laughs. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. Fuck that girl. She's missing out. You are a homie. Some people might think you're weird, but I'm fucking weird. I'm a loser weirdo. But you won't say that shit about me, so why would you say that about yourself? And I go, Joe Blue, fuck that girl. Would you want to dance with me? He looks at me and he like starts smiling. He was like crying. He like starts smiling. He's like, I would love to. Then we dance. We're talking, and then everyone's making fun of us because it's a fucking Christian camp, and Joe Blue is like the weirdest person. He literally is known in the Christian camp for fucking eating a spider. And we're dancing, we're talking. I'm like, don't mind them, Joe Blue. And then they're like, because it's a Christian camp, and 2 guys are dancing, and one of them has blue hair and fucking screwdriver earrings. And I go, Joe Blue, I don't give a shit what anybody says. You deserve better. One day, you're gonna find that girl. You're gonna ask her. And she'll see your worth. She'll see what I see in you, bro. And she'll say yes. And when that day comes, you'll love it. It's gonna be great, Joe Blue. And Joe Blue goes, thank you. And he starts getting a perk in his step, you know? And then eventually, like, the girl comes up and sees that I'm just, like, standing alone again, having no one to dance. And then she's like, this is my friend. And then we start dancing, and I'm just, like, moving with her. And I was like, this is great, you know? And and then I realized, like, she was like a year younger than me, and that doesn't sound like a big thing, but I was like 14 and she was 13. I was like, oh. So then, like, it was like we were vibing heavily together. We were talking, we were flirting, it was great. And then I was like, how old are you? And she's like 14. I was like, just immediately shut down. We stopped talking to each other immediately, and we were just like, all right, I'm just gonna dance until the song's over, and I'm never gonna talk to this person again because fuck that. So then I'm just like very awkwardly just going like, dancing, you know? And then I'm just like doing anything to avoid it. So I wasn't even looking at her while I was dancing. I was very rude. Don't do that. Even if you're not into it, don't fucking do that, because that's rude as shit. But I was like ignoring her, just being a horrible person. And then in the distance, I smile. You want to know why I smile? I see Joe Blue. And he's dancing with a young lady, and he's smiling. He's having a great time, and she's smiling too. It brought a tear to my eye. Joe Blue was dancing, and he was having an amazing time. And let me tell you, boys, when we got back to that cabin last night, we were all talking about that one blonde girl we were simping over, and Joe Blue was talking about his girl and saying how lovely it was. And like, you know, like, in Harry Potter when Neville like gets done dancing with Ginny and then he goes back to the dorms and starts like doing his little tap dance. It was that exact same thing. It was like that exact same scene, but in real life, and it was beautiful. I was so happy for my buddy Joe Blue. I love him. I wish you the best out there, Joe Blue. If you're seeing this video, Joe Blue, and you're watching me right now, I love you. I respect you. And I wish you the best out there. And I was so proud of my guy. And he was having the most lovely time of his life. And yeah, eventually the girl comes back to me and then she's like, hey, it's been long enough. I don't think the counselors would notice. You want to dance again? And we were dancing and we were doing our little slow dance thing, and then eventually like one of the party dances comes on. So then we go into like the circle, and then like we're all doing like the footloose dance. And I kid you not, like everyone knows the exact choreography for the dance just by instinct. Like everyone knows it. Everyone's perfectly dancing, and I was the only one there because I was this white guy from California that didn't know the fucking Footloose choreography, and everyone was just looking at me because like they were all perfectly doing the dance, doing everything perfectly. They somehow all knew. I kid you not, the entire thing. I looked around, everyone knew exactly what to do, the exact movements, step by step, perfectly. And I was just there going like, what the fuck is happening? And and the girl was teaching me, and she thought it was cute. She's like, yo, you can't dance. That's cute. And I was like, shut up, I can dance. And then she's like, no, it's okay. I'll teach you. And then she taught me, and it was a very cute moment. And it was the perfect time to tell her how I feel. It was the perfect time. I was looking her in the eyes as she taught me, and I pussied out. I did not tell her how I feel. And yeah, eventually the days went on. The camp ended. And she learned I was from California, so like she learned that there was no shot that we were ever gonna like actually date. So immediately just lost all the flair. She immediately just lost all feelings, and yeah. So we stopped talking, and I slowly watched her fade away into the distance, losing all hope that I would date her, which it was not very likely. I live in California, and there's no way I could like actually like, because I was planning on like being like, fuck it, I'm gonna like get a job at 14 years old, work here and like live with her and like be happy, and we're gonna get married and have kids. I've known her for 4 days. That was so stupid. Why the fuck did I think that? But I thought it. But when she learned I was from California, she was smart enough to be like, oh yeah, this isn't gonna work, and then just moved on. But I didn't move on. I watched her, and she lost feelings. She moved on. She started flirting with the football guy that was also in my cabin, and they started hitting it off. I just watched her. I lost her, boys. And yeah, I don't think really anything notable happened. I might be forgetting one or two things, but yeah, that was basically the camp. That's when it ended. Well, like, there was still a couple days, but nothing really notable happened. We had a candy party, and we, like, snuck candy and, like, drugs. That was funny, but it's not, like, really notable. We just kind of, like, had a candy party, because we weren't allowed to eat sugar at the camp. We were supposed to eat healthy, because I don't know why. And, like, if you win an event, you get a candy party, and we snuck candy party and, like, drugs. We were, like, putting in our socks, and we were putting in our underwear. So, like, because they checked us when we left to make sure we didn't have any candy. And then when we got back to the cabin, we were like, ha-ha! We got all the drugs. We got the good shit. We got the good shit. And I was like, you got the good shit? He's like, I got the good shit. I was like, I'll trade you a Kit Kat for a Reese's. And he's like, I got you. It was fucked up. We were like drug dealers at a Christian camp. But other than that, I don't think there was anything that notable that happened. That's basically it. We went home. I thought I had a lovely time. We told a bunch of stories. And yeah, that's about it. There might be something that happened. If I get like, because like, I know I'm missing like one or two things, so I'm probably not going to make a video about it. But if I like realize like when I like am sleeping at night, I'm like, oh, I forgot like 20 things, I'll probably make another video. But if not, I think this is the end. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I thought this was a really fun story. I thought it was a little fun tale about my adventures as a 15-year-old. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That would make me very happy. I looked at my YouTube analytics today, and it turns out that negative 9 billion% of you aren't subscribed. That's fucked up. There's like only 1,000 people that watch me. On my highest viewed video right now, it's 1,000 views, and 9 billion of you aren't subscribed. out of the 1,000 people that watch my videos, 9 billion of you aren't subscribed, and that's fucked up. So if you like what you see here, give it a little subscribe. It costs you nothing. It's free. It's literally 2 clicks, but it will make my day. Literally, I refresh the YouTube fucking studio thing, and every time I see a new subscriber, I smile. I literally smile. I'm at 165, and I just keep refreshing. When I see that 166, I'm gonna smile so wide. So please, just hit that little boy for me. That will make my day. Cost you nothing. It's completely free. It will take like 2 seconds. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Even if you don't subscribe, I appreciate you being here. Just you watching this makes my day. So thank you. If you got this far, thank you. Love you all. Goodbye. See you next time.